Hello and welcome back to my channel, Lickle Dashy Creations. In this video today we're going to be working on these Christmas tree cone decorations. These are made with doing a long row of double crochets and a row of the simple sedge stitch. So it's really quick and easy to make. You can make these in no time at all and they look absolutely brilliant. Okay, so let's have a look at some of the things that we're going to need to make our Christmas tree. Of course, need your yarn. So I've got this 4mm green yarn because it's a Christmas tree. We're going to use green for this one. It's 100% acrylic. You can use any yarn that you want. You'll also need your cardboard cone. You can get these from most craft shops. I got this online, so this is from Amazon. It was really cheap. A pack of 3 was something like £3 something. I'll put a link in the description for these cones, but these come in all different sizes of height and circumference. This one that I'll be using today is 25 centimeters high, and width wise it's 5 centimeters, so it's quite a slim style. This one, you can get them where they're wider. I've also got some glitter. This is completely optional because I'm going to just sprinkle a bit of glitter over it to give it a shine. You could use glittered yarn, which I did for this white one. This already had the glitter in it, so we didn't need to put any more glitter on top of that. Other things to decorate your tree with, completely optional of course. I've got a little star snowflake for the top, or you could use some buttons. You can also tie some hessian ribbon or string around the top of your tree to make it look nice and pretty, but they are of course completely optional. But you will need something also to glue the your work to the cone, so I've just got a glue gun here. I suppose you could use some sticky back tape or anything like that as well. So that's what we're going to need for our Christmas tree. Right, so to start with, we need to make ourselves a long chain. The length of this chain is really going to depend on a few different things. So it's going to depend on the size of your cone that you're using. So my cone, like I said earlier, is 25 centimeters tall with a 5 centimeter circumference. And I'm using a 4mm yarn with a 4mm crochet hook, and I've chained 250 for this one. But depending on the size of your cone, the width of your cone and the size of your yarn, that really will depend on how many chains you need. So just to get an idea of how to just gauge that, what I would suggest is you just start by making a chain, maybe chain yourself around 100, something like that, and then as you go along just attach your chain to the top of your cone, just pin it on or something like that. And what we want to achieve is a wraparound with approximately a 1 centimeter space in between your chain, so not too tight, just loosely wrapped around. As we do our crochet, it's going to be just over 1 centimeter long. We want a little bit of an overlap, and best to maybe have your chain just slightly too long than too small, because obviously then it won't go all the way around your tree. So this is what you're looking for. You could also just do a gauge or by just cutting a piece of yarn and wrapping a piece of yarn around your cone with a 1 centimeter space in between, and then just chaining your chain to the length of that piece of yarn. So once you're happy that you've got your chain of stitches long enough to wrap nicely and comfortably around your cone with approximately a 1 centimeter space, we can begin. Right, so you've got your long chain. I've got my chain of 250, and this is such a simple thing to do. All we're going to do a double crochet into each chain along. So we're going to start with the first chain from the hook, and we're going to insert hook, pull through and just do 1 double crochet. That's a single crochet if you're watching from the US, but that's all we're going to do. We're going to go right the way along and we're going to single crochet all the way. There we are, just coming to the end of this foundation row. So we've done a double crochet right the way along. We've come right to the end. Now we're gonna chain one, and then we're gonna turn, and we're gonna go all the way back, doing another double crochet in each stitch along. So that's a single crochet if you're watching from the US, or a double crochet for us. So we're gonna go through both of the stitches, and we're gonna do a double crochet all the way along. Okay, so we are almost at the end of that second row of double crochets. Don't forget to get right in the end. And here we are. So we should have something that looks like this now, quite a long line. And at this point, it'd be a good point to just check that we have a long enough piece of material to wrap around your cone. So we're just going to do another double check. So just pull that out tight, and again, just like we did to begin with, I'm just going to attach my material that I've made so far to the top of my cone, and I'm just going to do another wrap around. What we're now going to try and achieve is almost a full coverage, just with a little bit of a gap in between. So wrap it all the way around your cone, and what we're looking for is an almost full coverage. So this is almost full. It's fine if it's got a little gap in between like this one has. We want to be looking at this point before we can move on to doing our row of sedge stitch. Okay, so we're going to start our final row now. So we're at the end of that second row of double crochets. So I'm going to chain one. I'm going to just turn, and then we're going to do sedge stitch all the way along. So we're going to start in the first stitch as well. We're going to start right here, and I'm going to start with a double crochet. In the same stitch, I'm going to do a half treble. And then in the same stitch, I'm going to do a treble. Usually with the sedge stitch, we'd now skip 2 stitches and go into the third, but for this one, we're only going to skip 1 stitch because we want to give our tree a nice rippled effect. So we're just going to skip the next stitch, and we're going to repeat that all the way along. So skip 1 into the next stitch here. We're going to do 1 double crochet. In the same stitch, we're going to do a half treble, so that's yarn over, through, pull up a loop, 3 hoops on the hook, and pull through all 3. Same stitch with our treble crochet, pull through 2, pull through 2. So skip 1, move into the next one, double crochet. It's a single crochet if you're watching from the US. Then we're going to do our half treble, so yarn over, same stitch, pull up a loop, so you've got 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. Oops. Same stitch, we're going to do our treble, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So we're going to do this all the way along. So we're skipping 1 stitch each time, and then we're going to do our sedge stitch. So skip 1, single crochet, or double rather, half treble, and then our treble, all into the same one. So we're creating this nice wavy line, which is then we're going to wrap around to make our Christmas tree. So all the way along, right along your long chain, and I will see you at the other end. Okay, I'm almost at the end now, so I'm just going to carry on doing the same, skipping one and doing our sedge stitch until I have 2 chains left at the end. So skip one, half treble, and then our treble, skip one, last set of sedge stitch going in there. Oops. A little knot in the yarn there, but it's fine, don't worry. So I've got two stitches left. I'm just going to skip one, and then in the very last one I'm just going to do a double crochet, and that's going to be our final stitch. So we can tie off here. I'm just going to pull that through, chop, and just pull it through the loop. So just to summarise, we have our nice long piece of fabric now we're going to wrap around our cone. So we started off with our chain of 250. We then did 2 rows of a double crochet, and then we did 1 row of the sedge stitch right the way along. So I'm just going to weave in these ends now, and then we can start to construct our tree. So that is the fun bit. I'm just weaving that in and back on itself just a couple of times so that doesn't come undone. There we go. Here we have our piece of fabric, and the way that we want the right side is this way. So you'll see this side looks like this, but then if you turn it over, we see this kind of edge here. That's the one that we want on show, because they get this nice little the little stitch edge in there that just gives it a really nice branch and wobbly effect. So we're gonna get the glue gun on, get it going hot, and then we're gonna stick this together. Right, so I've got my glue gun ready. So all I'm going to do to start with, I'm just going to place a blob at the base of my tree, and I'm going to make sure I've got my right side facing me, and I'm just going to stick the first part on. So we want to have the bottom of it just grazing the bottom of your cone, like so. So the bottom wavy part is going to be at the bottom. I'm just going to stick that first part down, and I'm going to just nicely wind around, and then I'm going to put another glue blob at the other side just to fix this first layer, or the first bit, in place before we do the rest of it. Right, so now the bottom's fixed and the top's fixed and it's wound around evenly. I'm now just going to put a bit of glue in between each layer really carefully, just to hold this in place. Just a really small amount, you don't need loads, all the way up, just to fix it in place. And then I'm just going to finish this off with just a little bit of twinkly glitter, and I'm literally just going to sprinkle it over just to give it a little bit of a twinkle, tiny weeny bit. And there we have our finished Christmas tree.